looks a little crazy. I don't know why this eyebrow will never behave, but this one looks bad today too, so just ignore that. It's Thursday, and I am starting this week's vlog. I wanted to update you on just a few things. This lighting is kind of weird because my house is dark. Maybe I should turn the light on. Hold on. I'm not sure how much better that's going to be, but I wanted to update you on just a few things. So I did finish 10th of December yesterday. I gave this 3 stars. I thought this was fine. I am not a fan of this writing style, is what I found. A lot of these short stories were written like diary entries or letters. And by a lot, I mean 3 out of however many there are in here. And that's just not my favorite thing to read, especially in short format, especially when some of those diary entries are written in a way that's like not complete sentences, which I think if you like that like authentic feel, you might like that. I didn't like it very much. But that being said, I did really enjoy some of these stories, and some of them had like the absurd type of thing, which is what I usually like. I like absurdist short fiction. I don't really like realistic fiction when it's short fiction. All of these have some kind of twist, but it's a very like underhanded, like under the table, low-key twist, not like a big pow twist, if that makes sense. 3 stars, not a bad book by any means, but definitely not my favorite. Then I wanted to update you that I'm reading The Alchemist, which I started at the end of my last vlog, which for you was a week ago, but for me was 2 days ago. I didn't read any of this yesterday because I had 2 finals yesterday, so I didn't really do anything except for listen to that as 10th of December as an audiobook on my drive to and from school. But I am almost done with this. I will probably finish this within the next, well, it'll take me about 30 minutes to finish is what I'm saying. This is a very quick read. I don't know if I've explained what this is about, but it does follow a young boy who is a shepherd in the Andalusian mountains. And he became a shepherd because he always wanted to travel. And he has this recurring dream that he finds treasure in Egypt. And he decides to go after his dream. So he meets all these people along the way, and they're helping him realize his dream. And along the way, he keeps running into hurdles, but everyone is basically like, no, you have to go do your dream. You can't just give up on this. So I think it's very reminiscent to me of a book that's like The Little Prince or like The Tiger and the Acrobat, where it's about an innocent character learning about life and the meaning of life and different things throughout life, the dangers of the world, etc. So I'm enjoying this. I'm definitely not. I've heard so many people absolutely love this book, and I don't think I really love it, but I think I might have just read too many of this type of book at this point. So this, again, will probably get 3 or 4 stars. I don't know, like 3.5 is how it's feeling for me, so I might round it up to 4, but I don't know. Let me know if I'm missing something in the comments down below, but by the time you're watching this, I've definitely already finished it. I'm also continuing in my read of Way of Kings. I have not read any more of this. My ebook is due back in a few days. I was wrong about the due date of the ebook, but I was able to renew the physical book, so I have this chunky boy to look forward to over the next few weeks. It's due back on December 20th. So, that being said, those are my reading plans for this week. I will hopefully finish The Alchemist. I'm also still listening to Akamath. I'll probably finish Akamath, and then I'll get whatever else I can get on audio. Audiobooks are a really easy way for me to read things, and it's just the only way I've been reading recently, to be honest with you. This is the first book I've picked up physically. I guess I read Born a Crime physically, but, like, I didn't really, like, I don't know. Like, I struggled to get through Born a Crime, which is bad because it's a good book, but anyways, not important. I also got my reading journal for 2022. I tried to do a reading journal in 2020, but it also was like a bullet journal for my whole life, and it quickly became too much for me. So I think I'm going to start doing bullet journal videos. I know a lot of people do those. You might not care about them, but I feel like that's the way I'm going to be able to hold myself accountable to actually do these spreads. So I'm going to create my 2022 spreads and my January spreads, I think, in pencil, and then I'll film myself going over all of it. I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I have some washi tape that I got for my birthday in 2020, but that's like all I really have. I have a couple of like colored pens, so it's not going to be anything fancy. I'm not super artistic. I just would like to be tracking my reading. Generally, I'm probably not going to use this for more than just like tracking my reading. I'm not doing mood trackers. I don't do sleep trackers. None of that I ever kept track of. So reading I can do. Baby steps. Baby steps. That's it, and I will check in with you when I have another update. Okay, hi. It's later that same day. I just filmed my 30-minute live, like real-time read with me, which will be up. It will have been the video before this, so I'll link that for you if you want to watch it. It's just like a cozy ambiance in the background video. But I did want to update you that I finished ACOMAF earlier, and I think I have an unpopular opinion because a lot of people that I see who read the A Court of Thorns and Roses series say that ACOMAF is their favorite one. And I think I liked ACOTAR better. I gave them both 4 stars, but I just felt like there was something in the plot. Like, A Court of Mist and Fury feels like a second book to me. Like, it did have its own, like, arc that wraps up or whatever, but, like, I don't know. I just didn't really care for that plot as much as I cared for the plot of A Court of Thorns and Roses. And with a couple of things cut off of the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, usually like a couple of like character things, if you cut them off, I feel like it could have been a standalone and I would have been satisfied with it, which maybe I'll change my mind when I read ACO War. A Court of Wings and Ruin, I think, is the 3rd book. And then I have A Court of Frost and Starlight. I don't have A Court of Wings and Ruin. I don't know why I got the... whatever, it doesn't matter. But I don't know. So let me know in the comments down below if that's an unpopular opinion. I feel like it is, just because I feel like everyone I hear talk about it says that that's their favorite one. It's definitely steamier than ACOTAR. And, like, there's a lot of, like, steamy scenes in it, especially towards the end, which I don't mind. I just felt like it didn't make up for the fact that I didn't like the plot as much, I guess. So that's my update. I'm currently rewatching Sav's sprints from yesterday because I didn't watch them yesterday. But I'm going to try to get some more reading done of Wicked Kings. I'm about 60 pages in now. I still have no updates. I will say it's starting with a lot of war and battles, which is not my favorite thing to read. So I don't know. We'll see how that one goes for me. But people love the Stormlight Archive series, and I'm really excited to continue reading it. So anyways, I just wanted to update you with that. Let me know if that's actually an unpopular opinion or if I just have only talked to like 3 people who all like ACOMAF the best. But that has seemed to be the consensus from people that I know that have read the series. But give me your opinions down below. Okay, so I'm almost halfway through House of Hollow, and I'm really liking it. I'm actually like really enjoying it. It's very captivating. The writing style is very creepy. There's definitely body horror, so if you don't like that, you probably won't like it. Like, it reminds me of the description that people gave of Wilder Girls, which I never read, but I really want to, with, like, plants growing inside your body, kind of. And essentially what the story is about is, because I don't know if I've explained it, it's these 3 sisters who, when they were, like, little, got kidnapped, and then I think a month later they got returned to the same spot they were kidnapped from, but they were different. So they used to have blue eyes, now their eyes are black. They used to have dark hair, now their hair is white. And there's something with their teeth. Like, one of them lost baby teeth, and then when she came back, her teeth were back in its place, but they were still baby teeth, and she lost them again later. So there's kind of an element of, like, maybe they're changelings, and we don't really know what's going on, but now we're in the future, and the older 2 sisters, Vivi and Gray, have both dropped out of high school and become, like, famous. So Gray is a supermodel and fashion designer, and Vivi is in a rock band, and the youngest sister, Iris, is still in our high school. So that's where everything is. But in this, like, future, Vivi calls Iris, because she's going to be back in London where Iris lives, for, like, her band is doing a show there, and Gray is going to be there too, or she's supposed to be, but she never shows up, and they start seeing this man who is wearing a mask that's like a bull face, and he's shirtless, and both the sisters have seen him, Vivi and Iris have both seen him around, like, looking at them. And now Gray is missing. And so they start following these clues to figure out what happened to Gray. And she's always been obsessed with, like, the occult and weird stuff since she was kidnapped as a child. And there's this Vogue article out about her where she says that she remembers what happened to her. And that's, like, the last thing anyone heard from her before she was taken away. Because now all of the girls have always said that they don't remember what happened to them when they were taken. So it's very creepy. There's a lot of, like, gore, and there's a lot about these rotting flowers. So there's these flowers that really exist, and they smell like rotting flesh, like they smell really bad because they attract like flies that way, and that's how they are pollinated, is through flies, I guess, because, you know, flies eat dead things and poop and stuff. So that's a big like motif in this story, kind of, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm not sure, I mean, there's definitely some sort of like magical, paranormal something happening, but I don't know what it is yet, and if I find out, I won't tell you, because I think that's a big part of the story. But I'm really enjoying my read of this so far, and I'm really glad I decided to pick this up. I'm reading this for the prompt, a book that recently caught your eye for the Reindeer Readathon. I don't know if I've even introduced that I'm reading this, but I got this as an audiobook when I finished A Court of Mist and Fury, and like I said, I'm about halfway through it. I think that's the only update that I really have for you. It's Friday. I picked Matt up from the car shop because his car is getting its brakes repaired and stuff, and he's got to get an oil change anyways, so he's getting his brake pads replaced and his oil change, and he's back at work now, but I'm going to pick him up after work, take him to go get his car, and then drive back here. But that's pretty much it. I've also been journaling a lot, so while I was listening to this as an audiobook, I was writing in my new 2022 reading journal. I'm really excited to get back into bullet journaling. I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but I'm gonna try to make like bullet journaling videos of some sort. My journals aren't gonna be super aesthetic. I'm gonna try to have themes, but they're gonna be simple themes that I can keep up with, because I've pinpointed that one of the reasons that I stopped bullet journaling in 2020 was because I just got sick of like the art part of it. I wanted it to look a certain way, and it never did, because I'm just not very artistic. So I'm gonna keep working on simple themes, minimalist spreads, and I'll show you what I do, but I'm just sketching them out right now, and then I'm gonna make a video filling them in and like drawing on them with pen rather than pencil, because right now I'm just penciling in everything that I want to put in it for my yearly spreads, and then I'm gonna do my January spreads as well before I film that video. But that's it. I'm going out with some friends tonight. One of my friends is having a birthday party-ish. We're going out for drinks, so I'm going to meet up with him, and that's that. I'll update you when I update you, I guess. Is that your new sweater?
Rudolph, how you do that? Tell me how you do that. Oh, I know how you do that. Rudolph, Rudolph, tell me how you fly so high. How you fly so high. Rudolph, Rudolph, tell me how you touch the sky.
Hello, it's Sunday night, and I wanted to update you that I did finish House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And this, I'm pretty sure I've explained what it's about, and I've given you like thoughts halfway through. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. I actually was thinking more like 4.5 stars, but I did round up on Goodreads because you can't do half stars. And I really do think I thought it was amazing, and I thought it delivered pretty much exactly what I wanted out of it, I guess. It wasn't predictable at all, I would say, but it definitely was like a dark, twisty fairy tale, body horror, gruesome writing, and like a fantastical twist that was very dark, which was what I wanted. Based on the cover and based on what I heard about it, that's what I was looking for from it. I don't think this is going to be on my contenders. It's definitely not a contender for best book of the year so far. That's actually something that I'm going to have to figure out. I might be doing some rereads if I finish everything for Reindeer Readathon before the end of December, which I'm thinking I will, because this was the Vixen prompt, which is a book that recently caught my eye. I have one of the bonus prompts left, and then I think I have 3 of the main prompts left, and I'm pretty sure I have books that fit all of those prompts. So I'm pretty close to being done with that readathon, which means at the end of December and the beginning of January, before I pick my best books of the year, I'm going to be trying to reread some of my favorites from this year. I looked and I have like 19 books that are contenders, but I would like to get it down to the top 10. So stay tuned for that if you care. But I'm going to go get ready for bed probably. I just wanted to update you that I finished this book and I really liked it.
and it's gonna be so lovely on Christmas Day, my dear. I'm gonna get down on one knee on Christmas Day this year. I'm gonna give my love a golden ring on Christmas Day, my dear. On Christmas Day this year. 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 I'm gonna ask my love to marry me on Christmas Day this year. All I want is for my love to say yes to me on Christmas Day, my dear. Oh my love, I can't hardly wait for Christmas Day this year. Our together forever begins on Christmas Day, my dear. I'm gonna love you on Christmas Day forever and a day, my dear. On Christmas Day this year. Oh, on Christmas Day this year. On Christmas Day this year. Oh, on Christmas Day this year. And all the carolers say, la 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 la.
Hello, it's Monday. I just wanted to update you that I have been listening to You Just Saw Me Wrapping Presents for my niece and my sister and my brother-in-law, and then my parents are also going to be having Christmas with them. So that's what I was just doing, but I was listening to the audiobook for A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, which is the first book in the Gemma Doyle series. It's like a historical fantasy series, I think, about this girl Gemma who grew up in India with her mom, and at the very beginning of the book, her mother commits suicide in kind of a weird way, but just before she does, she gives Gemma this amulet that people seem to have strange reactions to, like reactions of fear and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but now Gemma it's a few months after her mom's suicide. She's been moved back to the UK, and her father has sent her away to this prep boarding school place. I believe this is taking place in the 19th century, and I think something's going to happen. They're learning a little bit about like portal magic, and Gemma's been getting like weird, she's got this weird diary from this woman named Mary Dowd, I think, and this guy who I think she originally met in India keeps contacting her and talking to her about things. So that's really weird. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with this, but I was given this book by my boyfriend's mom, who used to be a librarian, and it's one of her favorite series, she said. So I'm really excited to read this. Also, one of my friends from college recommended this series to me months ago now, and I never really had, I don't know, I put it on my like list of books to like keep an eye out for, but it wasn't on my immediate TBR. And then when my boyfriend's mom gave me a physical copy of it, she loaned me a physical copy of it, so I wanted to have it read before the next time I saw her, which will be Christmas. So I'm reading that. It's really good so far. I'm very interested. I definitely wasn't hooked from the beginning, which is interesting. I might just be like burned out with the whole teen girl mystery, like mysterious backstory, that kind of thing. But now that it's sort of seeming like it's gonna have portal magic, I'm intrigued, because I'm much more interested in that than whatever else is going on. I also don't know if historical fantasy is for me, but I'm giving it a shot, you know? I also wanted to let you know that I started an ebook over the weekend of A Deadly Education, and I read like the first half of the first chapter, and I don't like it. So I just don't like the voice that it's told in, and I don't like the main character's attitude. You're also sort of thrown in the middle of the action, so it's set in a magical school But from what I understand, there's like no teachers to this magic school, and you have to form alliances, and you're basically being attacked by monsters all the time. I don't really know. I usually like school settings in general, so that's one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this Gemma Doyle book now, is that it's set at a boarding school, and I just find that kind of setting more fun than a lot of other settings. But I don't know. So I'm a little disappointed in the way Deadly Education is going so far, just because when I read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, I was so hooked from the beginning, which is why I thought I would love Spinning Silver. But I'm not loving it right now. So I'm barely into it. So I might end up still loving it, but that's on my 5-star predictions list. And right now I'm pretty disappointed in the way it's going. And I don't really want to pick it up again. But I'm going to start working on my take-home final for my immigration law class, which once I open it, I have 24 hours to complete it. So I want to start it today and just do it today. It shouldn't take the full 24 hours is what my professor said. He said it should probably take like a normal exam time, like 3 to 4 hours. But he wanted to give us more time so that we could since it's take home, he was like, you can pretty much use anything. So, but try not, he's like, I'll know if you Google something and use like a segment of the law that we didn't cover in class. So I've mentioned this before, but a lot of my professors are doing open book finals, open note finals, etc. All of my other professors that did that had them in person. So you used this special software that locks down your computer from being able to use the internet. So you can just use your Word docs that you have and any PowerPoints that the teachers have put up that you've downloaded / any other like extra notes. Like for environmental regulations, I downloaded each of the 4 statutes that we covered. So I had that because that was allowed. But for this one, he's pretty much just letting us use whatever we want to use. It's just an issue spotter, so it shouldn't be too tough. I'm not that concerned about it. I feel pretty good about that class and my grasp on the knowledge of that class as far as he's expecting us to grasp it, because the immigration statutes are some of the most complicated statutes in the law. Somebody said that it's like the second most complicated statute behind the tax code, but my professor was like, I've tried to read the tax code, and if it is the second most complicated, it's like leaps and bounds behind the tax code in like order of complications. So then I need to study a bit tonight because I have my last final tomorrow, my final, if you will, which is a closed book final. But again, that one I'm not super worried about because it's my privacy law class, and some of what we covered is Fourth Amendment stuff, which we do in criminal procedure, which I've already taken. So I'm pretty familiar with all of those cases and all of those rules. We also talked a little bit about HIPAA and like privacy of health information, which I talked about in my health policy class, which I've already taken. And then the only thing I really have for this class are the specific privacy torts, which again, I've already taken torts. So these are just extra ones, but they all sort of follow the same rules as other torts. And then there are a couple other statutes, like the Free Credit Association statutes. I don't remember, FCRA, whatever. And then we briefly talked about the SEC, but he said to just know certain things about that. So you don't care about any of this because you're not in law school, most likely. But that's my plan for the rest of today. I do have work, but if I have more updates, I will update you. If not, I will just do a closeout of this vlog tomorrow at some point, because tomorrow I'm vlogging Wednesdays through Tuesdays for December, which is kind of confusing, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's that. Hello, it's now Tuesday, and I have finished all of my finals, so I'm done for the semester. And honestly, I was looking at the schedule. We don't start back up classes until after MLK Day in January, so I'm going to be done until January 18th, which is excellent news for me because I am like really feeling burnt out. Also, I have my Christmas tree behind me. Our Christmas tree's a little ugly. It's this fake tree we got from Walmart, I think, a few years ago in our first apartment, and we have all of our little like ornaments. So I have some, this is from when I was little. We have some ornaments from when each of us were kids. And then also we have some ornaments like this Bucky's one and this big fat cat one. You can't even see it. You can see it. That we've gotten together. But that's just an aside. I feel like I never show my Christmas tree. In this house, we don't really have the way our living room set up. We would have had to move a bunch of stuff to make it have like a good spot to go in. So it's just between our 2 couches right now. our really, really ugly couch, and then our like purple couch that I usually, or not usually, but that I sometimes film on. Anyways, I wanted to update you that I have finished A Great and Terrible Beauty by Lippa Bray, and I ended up really enjoying this book. It was very slow to start, I will say that. I had a hard time getting into it, but I listened to this as an audiobook. I completed it today, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's a very solid 4-star. I feel really good about that. I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it, which would be like a 5-star, or like even 4.5 star, but solid 4 stars. Feel really good about that. I can't remember if this actually counts for a prompt for the Reindeer Readathon. It might not count for anything, but it was on my TBR for like read a book that a friend recommended to me. So I read this and I really enjoyed it. I do want to continue in this series as well because I'm very curious to see where it goes from here. And it's described as a gothic, and I think this is the first book that I've read that was described as a gothic that I thoroughly enjoyed. So I don't know what that says about me as a reader, but I did really like that. I thought it was really interesting, and I think that's going to be the last thing that I finish in this vlog. If I finish anything else, I will let you know. I'm still working on A Way of Kings. I'm still working on A Deadly Education, and I need to find another audiobook to listen to, but I don't know that any of the books left on my TBR have audiobooks. So if I do get an audiobook, I will let you know. But again, usually I use those on my commute to and from school and work, and when I'm walking around campus, because I typically park a little ways away and I walk to my classes. So I usually listen to about an hour and a half's worth of audiobooks every day, but I can just listen to music for the time being. That's not really a problem. But that's it for this week. I think if there's other clips that I end up filming, I will insert them at the end like I did last week, but I think this is going to be my last talking clip. So thank you so much for watching this video if you got to this point. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment the Christmas tree emoji down below so that I know that you made it to this point. And leave me a comment if you've read any of these books as well and how you felt about them. As always, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you would like to. I do post 2 videos every single week, and I will see you in the next one.